What's going on, YouTube? Thanks for tuning into the channel. This is Devin. Welcome to DAC Attack, where we discuss lifestyle, entrepreneurship, and a lot more. Today, I'm going to come to you with a video about thriving in these economic times, corona times, pandemic time. Let me jump right into it. So, first off, in terms of where I'm coming from with this video, is definitely that July is approaching. The end of July is the time where the federal stimulus is going to stop, or at least that's when it's set to stop. And I think that is going to, pull, the ugly, mask off of what's really going on, and things are going to look a lot worse because I think we're in kind of a situation where it doesn't seem as bad because people are still able to, on a personal level, pay things. Small businesses are the ones that haven't really been bailed out enough in this situation where if you are unemployed and are getting that additional 600 and have applied and got through successfully, you can survive in a way that is not really indicative of your situation. So the first thing, which you should have already done, I mean, everything I'm telling you here is things that I've thought about, that I've done, I am doing, I will continue to do to kind of continue to work this plan into fruition. So the first thing is to assess your resources. So that could be a job if you still have a job. If you don't have a job, that could just be your skill set. It could be any income that you have coming in, where your expenses are going out, the things that you can chop off if you need to, kind of limit it, how long you can actually last with the current situation, the different options you have as far as, money making opportunities, economic opportunities, things of that sort. So just really kind of getting an idea of all the resources you have to work with, and then all the things that you're committed to that maybe you don't have to work with, so to speak, but that might be kind of a hindrance or something that you have to attend to during this. So having a good idea of that is going to really lead to the second part of creating a strategic long-term plan. And the reason why I'm stressing a long-term and also strategic plan is because a lot of the people I know, and I was just in that boat too. I'll get deeper into my unemployment in a second, where I was unemployed. I'm accepting this money. It feels like it's okay, but eventually the music's gonna stop, kind of like musical chairs. And if you don't have a seat, you're gonna be in a fucking bad spot. So I always had that in mind, but I do see other people that have taken, especially when I look on Instagram, they've taken that stimulus check and it's clear they bought sneakers, or they're taking that extra money that they're getting from unemployment and kind of balling on it, or they're just incessantly posting on social media that they're bored, but it's clear that they're not working towards anything. They're either just very hopeful they're going to get rehired if they're in a furlough situation, or they're just confused and they see the confusion that other people have and they're accepting that as normal behavior or acceptable behavior. But you don't really want to go with the flow, because the flow often goes downhill. So just because other people are doing it doesn't make it the smart, logical, or the most practical decision for the situation. So really creating a long-term strategic plan that is going to last, because I don't see these things going away. I don't see a V-shaped recovery happening. I don't see the majority of the people that were laid off being hired back to their same job. I see a lot of small businesses going away. That your long-term plan has to kind of keep into consideration different contingencies, whether you can be laid off, whether your job is essential, and I don't mean that in the way that it's been used now. It's just mean it in the way that it's still a viable position that's going to be there. Like if you're working in retail in a mall, that job might not be there. That there might not be a surge back to shopping in malls when people don't have money, people are scared of a virus. So keeping those things in mind, keeping your plan to be something that can be executed on through this whole downturn, and also taking advantage of the downturn, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity that's within it. But right now, this is mostly on the defensive front, just to kind of let you know where my head's at. But I'm going to keep going with the next one. The next one is not to rely on the government. This is kind of what I've been saying before, but I think this is something I can go into a little bit deeper, in the sense that there are a ton of protests going on. There's a ton of like activism going on. A lot of the things that definitely from a philosophical standpoint and the idea and the sentiment of the movements, I definitely support. But I don't really know what the majority of the people doing, and not the people running, are joining these are looking to get out of it. If you are in a bad spot, protesting is great from an activist level, from a systemic change level, but from an individual change level, that shit's not going to improve your life that much, regardless of what your circumstance was in. The best thing that's going to affect your life is to change your economic standing and gain wealth, because those are the people that can actually move things, make things happen. But to kind of go back a little bit more directly to the statement of don't rely on the government, it kind of goes back to a lot of people that are looking at this 600 like it's just given, like this is going to stop eventually. These stimuluses, I know Trump has said a second stimulus is coming out, but you cannot rely on these as being your savior or ripping down the structure of the way things are as a saving grace. There's a way the system was set up. It's kind of like a house. If you built a house on a certain foundation, which the foundation, a lot of it is capitalism and democracy from a capitalistic standpoint, insisting that we're just going to rip it down and you're going to give me is a way less strong standpoint than saying, I actually have resources to build the house. And therefore, since I know you need these resources, I'm going to help build the house, as in having your own economy to contribute to the house of the way things are set up. So I don't look at relying on the government as a great plan. I look at that as something that is being pitched a lot. I do agree that you should play the game. If you are laid off and you aren't making, the 1,000 or whatever, depends on your state, a week, yeah, you should apply and benefit from that money and fight for that money, since you do pay into it every check. But you do have to have the kind of same idea that unemployment is not meant to be a permanent position. Like, you have to jump off eventually. And the longer you stay in that pool, the less marketable you are to, the greater workforce, because there's other people that are, chomping at the bits to get back in there. So relying on the government, I think there's two main things. One, it's not going to save you just in its own right. But number two, it's also a psychological thing where you're kind of getting into this learned helplessness and you're kind of pigeonholing yourself from a position, from the way other people see you, that you're like the unattractive goods. You're not the fresh produce. You're the apple that somebody dropped on the ground and put back in the rack. Like, you might not get picked if you keep putting yourself in that position. So that's one thing. I definitely would not. I would say that you don't want to rely on the government. And it gets me to my last point. Make this the best thing that's ever happened to you in your entire life. So this is where I'll get a little bit personal to my situation. So in the beginning of April, I was laid off. So for about, almost 3 full months, I've been looking for a job, looking for different things. I know I posted up a couple videos. I still think those are very good content. I was trying to do other things too. But long story short, I definitely know the position that a lot of you guys might be in, because I was in it as well. But the one thing that always was sticking in my mind was I just kept telling myself, I'm going to make this the best thing that's happened to me. And whether it wasn't like I got something great. So the way I'm going to make that happen to me is that it's going to drive me to reach a certain goal. So my main thing is that I don't ever want to be in a position where events that are apart from me can affect me the way that they did. So a lot of that has to do with, financial independence. If you look into things like that, my goal is to go through real estate, use this economic downturn to be my catalyst to kind of propel me through it. But I digress on that aspect. Making it the best thing that's happened to me. So really, it kind of was a mental shift for me. That is how I use that statement to kind of drive me. At this point, I did find something. I start actually tomorrow is my first day. So I was able to dodge that musical chairs analogy I used before for when this 600 stops, because I wouldn't, without the 600, that shit ain't doing nothing for me. So that's a great concept as well. So I know I said a lot there. I want to wrap that up. I know I kind of did this a little bit off the cuff, which DAC Attack is going to stay pretty much off the cuff. So moving forward, I have a couple other channels that I'm starting. It's going to be a week till I post the first videos on that one. This one is going to be more of a daily posting lifestyle entrepreneurship, anything, even just being a millennial man in this day and age, kind of keeping that mindset, like what you should be thinking or what I'm thinking, not what you should be thinking, because I don't have all the fucking answers. But I'm gonna be posting on this more regularly. I wanted to do it earlier, but honestly, just being transparent, I'm not like a bullshit artist. So emotionally, when all that happened, I was like kind of a little bit, just down. And how am I going to talk about being successful and doing things when um, my main like way of getting there had been lost to me, and I haven't even figured out a way to get it back. So now I figured out a way to get it back. I have my confidence in that. I might make a video on that if you guys want to kind of find how to get a job and what things you should do to kind of work back, because I think I have a good process in that situation. But just be on the lookout. I'm gonna have a lot more coming out in these days, and I'm gonna create those other channels that are gonna be like once a week posts, a little bit more in-depth content, and then I'm gonna have this 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, every morning. Have a video that comes up, just more daily takes, staying with current events, and kind of keeping it around that lifestyle, entrepreneurship, young millennial men kind of concept. I mean, it could be for anybody, but I'm a millennial man, so that's going to be my perspective and the shit that I talk about. So that's it for this one. Like the content, like, comment, subscribe. You fuck with the vibe. Welcome to the tribe. Till next time, peace.